Well, speaking of coming to America, did you guys watch Meghan Markle and Harry with Oprah?
Yeah, but I done heard.
I
Yeah.
didn't heard a lot of stuff too. I didn't actually watch the interview all the way through. I did watch some of it because I wanted to. I only watched the part where they talked about the comments or what the conversation that was brought up about the baby's skin color. And I only watched that part because I was trying to figure out and the man who could have made those comments. And I
They all
figured,
thought he was thinking the comments.
well, he said that it wasn't his grandma, which is the queen, and it wasn't Prince William.
Philip.
Who
No, it wasn't his. It wasn't his grandmother or grandfather.
it was not. It
No.
was not. So it led me to believe that it was his brother, his father, and his brother's wife. That's who I think it was. Because he said that he would never speak about, he would never say who it was, but he made it a point to say who it wasn't. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it just made me think that it was just them. And then how he said that the relationship is strained between him and his father, and there's space between him and his brother's relationship. So that just made me feel like it was them. It's really, really sad. I really, really feel bad for Harry ultimately because we don't know what type of trauma he had to deal with. Because at the end of the day, money has nothing to do with grief or the trauma that you go through. Like he
Mm-hmm.
lost his mom at a very young age, and it was a horrific accident that he's probably gonna have to deal with that for the rest of his life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So no amount of money is going to change that. We see that. Like, he's royalty. Like, none of that shit means anything to him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Far as his like mental health, and that shit is number one on his list. It's obvious. He turned his I ain't gonna say he turned his back, but he walked away from something that was potentially damaging to his mental well-being and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Mm-hmm.
huge. That shit
Mm-hmm.
speaks volumes to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Um, I think the comments about the baby skin color, I wasn't necessarily shocked about that part
Mm-hmm.
because I think that it would be naive of anybody to put being racist past these people, especially
Right.
people forget. Oh, people are loving Harry right now, but when he was younger, he's the one of the people who thought it was okay to go to a Halloween party dressed up as a Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the type of family you're dealing with. For anybody
Mm-hmm.
to think that doing something like that is cool, they
Right.
come on now.
Yeah.
But the thing that kind of like shocked me was, okay, y'all are racist, but this woman is um Harry's wife. She's having a baby, but y'all tell them the baby's not gonna have a title and the baby's not gonna have security either.
I did I was wondering about that. So they say, far as the royals goes, his children would not have a title because his father is not the king yet. You know what I'm saying? It goes off of whoever is the king or queen, and then it branches off from them. So once his father takes over, then his kids will have a title. It's like his father, like they broke it down where it made sense that why his kids wouldn't have a title, but his brother's kids did. Like, you know what I mean? Like it they
Because
broke it down where it said,
his brother is in the direct line of succession.
right,
Mm-hmm. Because Harry, unless there's some sort of devastating event that happens, he's never going to be king.
right, right. So that's where the titles come from. So I understood that, but I did not get the fact that, they said that they wouldn't have security or any of those things.
Dang, no wonder they'd be so ruthless in those type of things. You said he ain't gonna have no type of
Yeah, they
players.
said the kid went. All right, so okay, that definitely does um explain the whole title part, but I still don't understand. They're still part of this family. Their parents are still the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Hmm.
So those kids need security.
They do. Tyler got them.
Yeah, that
Perry
was
hooked them
that was
up.
a that was a nice little that was a nice thing to hear that when they came up. Well, I think she said that the reason why they stayed at Tyler Perry's mansion is because they knew that they were going to be shutting everything down soon because they were originally in Canada, and they didn't want
Hmm.
to shut down and be stuck in Canada. So they were trying to. They didn't have a house in the United States, so they
Right.
stayed at Tyler Perry's for like 3 months,
That's
which
what's
I
up.
thought that was pretty cool. Um, now I definitely do feel sad for Meghan, but even given the information that you just said, do you think she was misleading in this interview, given the information that you just told us?
What do you mean, like misleading?
So if the kids were never going to have a title to anyway, you would think that that's since she's Harry's wife, that's something that she would know even
She
before the
would
public
know.
would
Hmm. Hmm.
know. Mhm.
Well,
So
yeah, because that part is sorry. Um, I feel like there should have been some type of discussion about that. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna necessarily say it's misleading because I just it just made sense. Not saying that maybe that's not the right thing. You know what I mean?
what's not the right
How
thing?
it goes, like the line of order that it's supposed to go in, but that's how they've been doing it for years. Like I don't know, but they said that that's how it is and that's how it's going to be. So her kids was never going to get a title anyway. But I don't
Right,
want
but
to
I
say
think
A
leaving
title and
misleading.
clearance
leaving
is two
Yeah,
different things, right?
to I think to the public who's watching this interview, leaving a detail out like that is
it is.
intentionally
Then
misleading.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes,
To make us feel like,
yes,
what?
because
You
that's what I thought. That's what I thought at first. Then so yes, then the answer would be then yes, because that's what I thought at first. So, but then when I got more information on it, I it made sense of why they wouldn't have those titles, and they explained the royal line of who's going to the royal line to the chair, like you know what I'm
know?
saying. So and how that works. So once I seen that and heard that, and I was just like, oh, okay, well then that makes sense. Then that's why, you know.
Another thing that I believe that until you just explained it, but him or anything like that.
I ain't hear what you said. What did you say?
I said when she talked about when she and Harry were dating, she had never Googled him or anything like that, and I don't believe that.
Me neither.
So
Me neither. I was reading I was reading some things too where they said that they felt like, you know what I'm saying, that she's manipulative and calculating. She knows exactly like what she's doing.
That could be true. Two
Um
things could be true.
mhm, mhm. Yeah,
uh,
so I don't know them personally. I just know that I remember when I remember when Princess Diana was killed. Like I remember watching that shit on TV because they had that shit on TV for a while, and like the things leading up to it, and then afterwards, and all of those things, I just felt really, really bad because she was like an outcast. She was an outcast to them too. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
definitely.
saying? And for Harry, regardless of what, I felt like he just seen that happening to his family too.
After he married Meghan.
It's a possibility that his wife could get chased down by the paparazzi and killed, because that's exactly what they did to his mom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I had to fix my internet connection. Um, but I wanted to say with her, I think she did admit to being naive about what would happen as a result of her marrying into this family. I also, but I think her naivete came from her aesthetic. She is somebody who I think it's safe to say in certain spaces and places she's white passing.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And with you living your whole life as a black woman who is white passing, you probably and then you're an actress on top of that. So that helped you in your career where you could probably get roles that were for an ambiguous or white woman where somebody of a darker skin tone probably couldn't have got those roles. So, that has been probably a privilege for her up until this point. But then you marry into this family, they see your mama and they got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't care. I guess when it comes to the royal family, that it's that one drop rule all day. So I
Right.
mean, in this situation, I can see how it could be traumatic for anybody, but especially somebody who's probably lived their life in certain spaces and places where people would probably now. Do I think that she would tell people she was white? No, I don't. But I think if people just assumed that she was white, she probably went along with it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Um,
But I
and
can't see
but
me saying that she was not her saying she was naive about the situation. I don't. I gotta be a lie though, man. Because you figure even if it was a rich white family that wasn't even with that type of bloodline, they still would question it. Like,
mm,
so for you to be out here saying that you didn't know that there would be an issue that he would be married, like, come on, man. What
I don't
what
believe that either,
like even
Bobby.
her white friends probably was telling her like, oh, they don't care that you guys are getting married. You don't think Oprah don't say something to her when they was coming?
Her mama said something to her
Her
about that
mom said
shit.
something to her. Her dad probably said something to her. Her white dad probably said something to her about it.
well, I know she was raised. She said she was raised in a single parent household, so I don't necessarily know how much of a relationship she had with her dad. Um,
He always
but
seems to have something to say, but I don't think that he was as involved as he's trying to portray that he is now. But her mama told her that shit.
That,
mhm,
And she like it's Prince Harry. Like the world knows that these is the royal people over there. Like you cannot
of
mix,
England,
mhm,
yeah, over
the
there.
whitest of the whitest of the whitest flag ever.
mhm. But you know what? In
Whatever.
the words of Paul Mooney, she got her nigga wake up call.
Yep.
It was a hard one to have, but you got it. Hopefully, there you take something away from it.
Well, all I'm gonna say is Harry got him he got his little toe dipped in a little bit of chocolate, and that motherfucker was like, "I'm leaving
Out.
Mhm.
everybody about this
Right?
here."
But
Yeah, yeah. Because when you think about it, even like growing up, when we would be like in high school and stuff, you would hear of like girls who were white who like to date black dudes talking about how their families disowned them. Now
yeah.
we wasn't going to no affluent high school, but even
Right,
the poor ones said, we don't want to have nothing to do with you if you dating somebody black.
Swear.
right. That shit still today, motherfuckers
But
still feel like that.
but
Mm-hmm.
kudos to Harry and them because now they can break down that stigma because everybody's acting all shocked that they think, you know what I mean, that they're
Mm-hmm.
racist. Everybody's all shocked, but in reality, if you're black, you've been to it.
I'm
It's
not.
not shocking.
I'm not
So
at all.
now they got the mirror reflected to them. They need to analyze their perception of what black people are or other races are, and make that change over there, just like we need to make it here.
But what's wild is that they do a whole lot of charity work and nonprofit work and whatever else with nations of people, black people, Africans, people of color in general. So
Why not? Because
um,
they got business with them. They got the embargo trades with them. You know what I
mhm.
mean? They got to show some type. These is the same. They got to be in that flag. It holds power probably in every country.
And yeah, it probably does, but I think the perception to me is like you come into these places like you love me and you're my friend.
Yeah, friend, not
If
family. There's a
if
big
it's
difference.
business is business as far as I'm concerned. I don't have to like you to do business with you, but don't be trying to pretend like you're my friend.
I mean, we might be friends, but you can't infiltrate my family bloodline.
Mm, mm. Whew, that's deep. It's deep.
Who is it? Prince William? Was that the one who's imagine if he had married somebody black?
Oh, it would have never happened.
They'd
Never.
have probably killed her. They ain't wild
Never.
enough to be
Mm-mm.
a king or in line to be a king.
Yeah, he's in a direct line of succession to be king. It will never happen. And I think another thing too that made that family not like her, part of it was her being black, but I think another part of it was her outshining Kate Middleton.
Oh, definitely. You don't even hear nothing about her anymore.
Not at all. So
I
now
agree
we
with
got
that too.
now one of the royal grandkids got a black wife and she's outshining the future king's wife. Like what?
Definitely a problem. And
Mm-hmm.
did y'all hear how she was saying, Kate was saying how Megan had made her cry at one point from the things that she would say to her or something. I don't know. I just
It
think
was
that it's
that
all
Megan was being the
bullshit.
bully.
But Megan said on an Oprah interview, but it was the other way around. But
I believe that.
she said it was the other way around, and the they have a entity called the firm, I guess, who handles the royal business, handles the PR and everything. They knew that the story that put out about Megan making Kate Middleton cry was a lie. She said they all knew it was a lie, but they didn't do nothing to dead the story. She said they would dead all kind of stories that was stupid and inconsequential, but they wouldn't
Hmm.
dead that.
That's
So
crazy.
she knew. She said that was like the beginning of her kind of like realizing that this family was not going to protect her, or this
Hmm.
institution was not going to protect her.
Yeah.
So I mean, ultimately, I get it sucks, but they did the right thing by leaving.
So here's my thing. I hope and pray and wish that they have a long till death do them part. But with these celebrities and people that's in the eye of the camera, their marriages don't always aren't always successful. So I hope and pray that that's the case for Meghan and Harry. But if it's not, can you see how messy that shit would be?
Trying to get back
Mm,
home.
Like, you know what I mean? Like all of that happened, and then they turn around, which I hope that they don't. I'm not wishing bad on them, but that's a lot. I know the dynamics between me and my husband and his family and my family. There was some strain between us and my family. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's enough to really like make a relationship end, depending on like what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who it's coming from and all of those things. Like, that's a lot. That's a
mm-hmm,
lot.
mm-hmm.
So I hope that they do have longevity in their marriage and in those things that don't happen. And if those things do, like that shit is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, because I
Mhm.
mean, it sounds cute when people get together and they say things like, "Well, I didn't marry your mama." Uh,
Right,
you didn't, but you did.
right.
You are now like married into this family. So, I
Yeah.
mean, ideally, it would be nice if everybody got along.
But everybody do not get along, and you do not
Yeah.
get to pick your family. You do not get to pick your family, and that's the thing. Like that's probably how he feel. Like he's madly in love with this half and half chick, and he doesn't understand why his family don't love her like he does.
Oh, I mean, I think he understands it, and I also think that he did her a disservice by not explaining um, their thoughts around race when they were dating. Because I just do not believe that he didn't know his family was racist prior to that. I'm not sure if they thought because of how she looks, it might be cool, but
I think that he might. I think that he might have thought that maybe because it was him and he was dating her, that it might have been different for him.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like it might have just been different because it was just him, but it wasn't. Like you know what I mean? So
mhm,
maybe he was hoping it would be different,
Yeah.
or that the racist wouldn't peek his head, but it did. So
mhm.
They care about that, but ain't nobody saying nothing about the pedophile dude.
Prince Andrew.
yeah,
Yeah. Like, stop talking about Meghan Markle and turn him in. How about
I know,
that?
because honestly, this is petty compared to that.
right,
Y'all got a
right. They
whole
don't want to talk
hotel
about
room.
that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to talk about the baby's color. That came out
Yeah,
so white as it is.
right. And he,
Meanwhile,
yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, well.
It's only to let people up.